I'm going to stand here to begin with, just because otherwise it's pointless me having put this photograph up. This picture, you might think it looks a bit odd. No, it's not my mum and dad in better days. It's actually a woman at a self-defence class during World War II, which leads me on to the subject of this next video, which is women during World War II. So during World War II, the role of women, just like it did during World War I, began to change for a number of reasons. Between 1939 and 1945, most men are conscripted for war work, either in the armed forces or in some industries. Just like in World War I, women are conscripted to replace the men in a range of vital jobs. And during between 1939 and 45, almost 800,000 women were called up to do a range of different jobs. So the first one is the Land Army. As usual, the Ministry of Information would publish various different posters to promote the various different things that they needed to happen. And this is an example of that. Here is a photograph of ladies in the Land Army. So the Land Army, what is it? Basically, during the war, more food is needed. 30,000 men leave farming to go and take jobs in the front line, in the army, and 90,000 women are recruited to replace those men in agricultural work. And as a result, food production increases. The next thing that happens, or the next role that women need to fill, is in heavy industry. Again, a Ministry of Information poster, a lady at work, and ladies are recruited to work in factories, in transport, in construction. They have to do manual labour, they work as drivers, as machine operators, and typically this is work that has in the past been male dominated. Now, to begin with, some of the ladies are looked down upon for doing this work. Some of the ladies find the work quite difficult, and there is a period of adjustment. But eventually, after a lot of hard work, the ladies, the women who are doing this kind of work, start to gain a great deal of respect. And finally, and perhaps most surprisingly, especially for the culture of the time, women were called up to join the armed forces. And indeed, they even worked as pilots. So 450,000 women indeed served in the RAF, the Navy, and in the Army. Now, initially, the jobs that they did were cleaning, secretarial, administrative roles, but eventually they would work as anti-aircraft operators, dispatch riders, pilots, and even spies. And interestingly, the Special Operations Executive, which is, I suppose, a bit like the equivalent of MI6 today, they employed almost as many women as men to go and operate overseas and spy for the British. They were found to be better at it, basically. So what's the impact of this? Women during this period, just like in World War I, started to, they felt a sense of increased independence. There was a recognition across Britain that actually, if you introduce appropriate childcare schemes, you can actually enable women to work, and they don't have to stay at home and be housewives as hitherto believed. Unfortunately, when the men all come home from fighting, the women are replaced with those men, and so women lose a lot of their jobs. But this does start, World War II does mark the start of a very slow increase in working women.